Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Guerrero. I'm the District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration for the South Florida region, which encompasses the 24 counties south of Kissimmee, Florida, all the way down to the Florida Keys. First, I want to say welcome. Today, we're going to be speaking about the economic injury disaster loans that the SBA is providing to small business owners who have been impacted for the coronavirus and have been experiencing economic disruptions. The SBA's administrators, Jovita Carranza, has enacted what is called our Economic Injury Disaster Loan. The U.S. Small Business Administration is offering this loan to designated states and territories with a low interest rate for working capital to small businesses who are currently suffering economic injury as a result of the coronavirus. So what businesses are eligible to apply? SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan, or Working Capital Loans, as they're also called, are available to small businesses, small agriculture cooperatives, small aquaculture businesses, and most private nonprofit organizations. Now, this includes businesses directly affected by the disaster, or businesses that offer services directly related to those businesses in the declaration where the disaster has occurred, and other businesses indirectly related to the industry that are likely to be harmed by losses in their community. An example of this is a manufacturer of widgets may be eligible as well as the wholesaler and the retailer of the product. So what is the criteria for a loan approval? Applicants must have a credit history that's acceptable to SBA. The SBA must determine that the applicant's business has the ability to repay the SBA loan. And the applicant business must be physically located in a declared county or state that is suffering the working capital losses due to the declared disaster, not due to a downturn in the economy or any other reasons. How much may I borrow? Well, eligible entities may qualify for loans up to $2 million. The interest rates for this disaster are 3.75% for small businesses and 2.75% for nonprofit private organizations with terms up to 30 years maximum to repay. Eligibility for these working capital loans are based on the size and must be a small business and type of business and its financial resources. Now, how can I use the loan funds? These working capital loans may be used to pay fixed debts, such as payroll, accounts payable, and other bills that could have been paid had the disaster not occurred. The loans are not intended to replace lost sales or profits or for expansion. Now, what I encourage small business owners to do is, whether you are a small business or you're not certain if you are a small business, still continue to apply. Also, we spoke a little bit about credit history. Whether you believe you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit, I also encourage you to apply. Every day, the criteria is being relaxed in order to be able to help as many business owners as we can. So if you're in doubt, don't talk yourself out of applying. Go ahead and apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. To apply, you would go to sba.gov/disaster, sba.gov/disaster. Now, what are the collateral requirements? With our economic injury disaster loans over $25,000, we do require collateral. The SBA does accept real estate as collateral when it is available. Now, the SBA will not decline a loan for lack of collateral, but requires the borrowers to pledge what is available. What kinds of small businesses can apply? Well, example of eligible industries that include but are not limited to are the following: hotels, recreation facilities, charter boats, manufacturers, sports events or vendors, owners of rental property, restaurants, retailers, souvenir shops, travel agencies, and wholesalers. And again, this is just a sample of the type of entities that can apply. What other criteria is involved? Well, the applicant business must have a physical presence in the declared disaster area. An applicant's economic presence alone in a declared area does not meet this requirement. The physical presence must be tangible and significant. Merely having a P.O. box in the disaster area would not qualify as a physical presence. So SBA's working capital loans, how are they different from other SBA loans? Our economic injury disaster loan funds come directly from the U.S. Treasury, so you do not need to go through a bank for this. Instead, just apply directly to our SBA Disaster Assistance Program by going to disasterloan.sba.gov. You can also go to sba.gov/disaster. It's easier to remember, and it will point you to the same location, sba.gov/disaster. There is no cost to apply. There's no obligation to take the loan if it is offered. The maximum unsecured loan amount would be $25,000. Applicants can have an existing SBA disaster loan and still qualify for an economic injury disaster loan for this disaster, but the two loans cannot be consolidated. Now, if you do have an existing SBA disaster loan, I would highly recommend to request for your payments to be deferred, as deferred requests are being considered and approved. Additionally, when you are applying for the economic injury disaster loan, you want to make sure that you have all of your financial documents ready before you enter the online application. And having these documents ready, it will help you go through the online application a lot. So what are the basic filing requirements? Speaking of the documents, you want to do a completed SBA loan application. It's called an SBA Form 5 or an SBA Form 5C for sole proprietorship. The Tax Information Authorization IRS Form 4506T for the applicant, principals, and affiliates. A complete copy of the most recent federal income tax return. You'll need a schedule of liability, which is the SBA Form 2202, personal financial statement, which is the SBA Form 413, and other information may also be requested. Now, although paper applications and forms are acceptable, filing electronically is easier, faster, and more accurate. Remember, if you do the hard copy, you have to send it through the mail or fax it, and things can get lost, things can get delayed. So we do encourage people to go to sba.gov/disaster to apply. At the end of our presentation here, I'm also going to give you a few links. One of them will point you to the hard copy paper. What I recommend small business owners to do is that they download the hard copy application, because you can use that as a checklist, and you can make sure you have all your documents ready and filled out. So once you go into the online form, it's just a matter of transferring information into the online form and uploading documents. It will make your process a lot quicker, and the application system will not be slowed down or impaired. Now here's a few other types of information that may be requested. Complete copy, including all schedules of the most recent federal income tax return for principals, general partners, or managing member and affiliates. If the most recent federal income tax return has not been filed, a year-end profit and loss statement and balance sheet for that tax year will suffice. A current year-to-date profit and loss statement, and additional filing requirements, SBA Form 1368, providing monthly sales figures. This is especially important for the economic injury disaster loans that we're speaking of. So what's a private nonprofit organization? Examples of nonprofit organizations such as nursing homes, food kitchens, museums, educational facilities, senior citizen centers, daycare centers, playhouses, community centers, shelters, rescue organizations, and associations. And these are just a few examples. An eligible private nonprofit organization is a non-governmental agency or entity that currently has an effective ruling letter from the U.S. IRS granting tax exemption under Section 501C, D, or E of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954, or satisfactory evidence from the state that the non-revenue producing organization or entity is a nonprofit one organized or doing business under state law. So what are ineligible entities? These are agricultural enterprises if the primary activity of the business, including its affiliates, is as defined in Section 18B1 of the Small Business Act. Neither the business nor its affiliates are eligible for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Assistance. Religious organizations, charitable organizations, businesses that are considered hobbies or government-owned, gambling concerns, casinos and racetracks, real estate developers, establishments primarily engage in subdividing real estate or real property into lots and developing it for resale on their own account. These are an example of entities that would not be eligible for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Now, how to apply? Applicants may apply online using the electronic loan application ELA via SBA Secure website at disasterloan.sba.gov/ELA. Again, the quicker way to get to that location is just go to sba.gov/disaster. It will point you to that portal where the online application is. Now, if you do a hard copy, the completed application should be mailed to U.S. Small Business Administration Processing and Disbursement Center, 14925 Kingsport Road in Fort Worth, Texas, 76155. Disaster loan information and application forms may also be obtained by calling the SBA's Customer Service Center at 1-800-659-2955. That's 1-800-659-2955. Or for the hard of hearing or deaf community, they can call 1-800-877-8339, 1-800-877-8339. Or for those who wish to send an email, you can email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Again, that email address is disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Now, you can also obtain assistance from our SBA partners. So this is free assistance. They will assist you with reconstructing your financial records, preparing your financial statements, submitting the loan application. This type of assistance is available from our SBA partners, so you can contact the Florida Small Business Development Centers, which are known as the SBDCs, our SCORE chapters, women's business centers, and veterans business outreach centers and local chambers of commerce. To find out your nearest office for any of these resource partners, please go to sba.gov/local assistance, sba.gov/local assistance. It's very important for you to submit your application as soon as possible. The deadline to submit is at the end of this year, December 2020. But the sooner that you submit it, of course, the sooner that you could get approved and would be receiving your funding. So recheck the filing requirements to ensure that all that is needed and that the information is needed is submitted. It's important to submit a complete package. If you're missing some documents, a case manager will contact you. There'll be some conversation back and forth, and you'll be losing time. So it'll take longer to turn that application around and have it reviewed for approval. The biggest reason for delays in processing is due to missing information, as I just mentioned. So make sure to complete all filing requirements before submitting the applications and the forms. If more funds are needed, applicants can always submit supporting documents and request an increase. If less funds are needed, applicants can request a reduction in the loan amount. The interest rate will only be for the amount that you're actually utilized. Now, if the loan request is denied, the applicant is given up to 6 months in which to provide new information and submit a written request for reconsideration. So there is a denial process that you can follow, an appeal process, excuse me, that you can follow if you have been denied. And we can assist you with that too. As promised, I've included a slide here with contact information and important websites. So if you're ready to apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, or if you would like more information, please go to sba.gov/disaster, sba.gov/disaster. To download a hard copy of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan application so that you can use it as a guide for the online application, please go to disasterloan.sba.gov/ELA/information/paper forms. If you do have questions and you would like to speak with a person, please contact our SBA Disaster Customer Service. The phone number is 1-800-659-2955, 1-800-659-2955. If you're hard of hearing or deaf, you can utilize the TTY line, which is 1-800-877-8339, 1-800-877-8339. Or if you prefer to email, you can email your question to disastercustomerservice@sba.gov, disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. If you're looking for local resources that can help you with any questions you may have about your application or your finances, you can locate our resource partners by going to sba.gov/local-assistance, sba.gov/local-assistance. You can also visit our local SBA website, which is sba.gov/South Florida, sba.gov/South Florida, to view our calendar of events. We do have a calendar of events where we post our upcoming webinars and seminars. You can also subscribe to our email distribution list at sba.gov/updates, sba.gov/updates. I highly recommend for you to subscribe so that you can get information as soon as that it's available. We also promote our webinars and our presentations through our email distribution list and our events as well. Make sure to add your zip code so you can get local updates. Thank you all for joining our webinar today. I hope that you have found it helpful. Please, subscribe to our YouTube channel because we will continue to post other webinars and videos as we go along. I want you to know that the SBA, along with our resource partners, we are here to support you every step of the way, not only during times of disaster, but throughout the year. Again, thank you all for joining, and please be safe. Take care.